Hello, team. I hope everybody is having a great week. We're looking forward to a great weekly sales meeting. I want to get started and talk about the market. This is kind of the first thing off everybody's tongue. And the reason why I want to lead with it is I had 3 to 4 meetings today before 9 a.m. And the first thing out of each loan originator's mouth, and loan originators that are here, loan originators that are evaluating coming here, is the market, inventory. And it's a tough market. And my thought process in all of these conversations is we have to be tougher. And in order to be tougher, you got to work harder. You have to do the work. That's the reality of this situation. Is like if we talk about the conditions and we don't talk about how we are conditioning ourselves to deal with those conditions, then we're going to be struggling. We're going to be on the struggle bus big time. So understand that, like, you got to outwork the conditions. You have to do what it takes to win in this market. We're winning in this market. We grew the way that we've grown because we're doing the work. There's no secret sauce. There's no, you just recruited people. No. You got to have a value prop. You got to be doing things great. And by the way, our loan originators, they hold us accountable. We got to make ops great. We got to make our tech great. Like, this isn't something where it's transactional and you just get people to come. Like, same thing with real estate agents. It's the same game. You have to have a value prop. You have to, you have to show them that they're not going to wear you down with no's, okay? If you call somebody and a no gets you to go away, that's a you problem. If you, like I shared last week in workplace, I had a loan originator that reached out last year, told me to go F off, okay? That's not going to deter me. I'm back 6 months later. I'm back a year later. I don't care what you say. I'm letting you know that I'm coming. I'm coming to this market. I'm dominating. If you're on the team, great. If not, I'll come after your agents. I'll come after the home buyers. I'll come after the consumers. Like, we're not stopping. Same thing with the realtors. Like, hey, I want you on my team. That's why I'm reaching out. I want to partner. We have alignment, but you're not going to wear me down with no's. You're not going to wear me down because you have another LO. Like, we're going to show you we're coming, we're winning, we're dominating. So you got to be tougher. You got to put in the work. There's no excuses, okay? And I want to make it very clear. No one is coming to save you. If you're waiting for rates to drop, if that's like, the golden umbrella that you're waiting for, it's not going to happen. It's not happening anytime soon, guys. So the work starts every single day. You got to put it in. You got to earn relationships. You got to earn the relationships that you have to keep them, and you got to keep outworking everybody in order to win in this market. So the only excuse that you can make for yourself is the excuse that enables bad behavior. So if you sit there and make that excuse for yourself, that's your choice. But don't complain about the market. You don't got to bring me down. You got to bring the other person down. It's like, we're going to do the work here. People in this building right now, they're all working their butts off to make sure we're getting better every single day. Same thing on the streets. We're gonna outwork our competition. We're gonna outwork our realtor partners. We're gonna become their accountability partner. We're gonna bring the energy that shows them how to win every single day. Next thing I want to talk about we're coming up here on the 23rd of May at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We have our Future of Housing virtual event with Logan Montashami from Housing Wire. Really, really important value proposition here. We, the whole goal here is like, if you watch CNBC or Fox Business, Logan's the guy that the media companies are featuring, talking about housing, talking about real estate. In the mortgage industry, obviously, you got great people like Barry Habib that educate loan officers on what's going on in the market. But Logan's mainstream. He's working with consumers. So this is an opportunity for us to bring the face of real estate and housing when it comes to data to our population, to our realtor partners. I mean, think about this from a credibility perspective. You're able to invite your realtors to an event. You're able to invite your business partners to an event. The person that CNBC and Fox Business feature about this subject matter. So it's a huge value proposition. It's all about bringing this value to our partners and helping educate them on what's happening in the market so they can confidently navigate the challenges that are out there, but also educate consumers, educate home buyers. And this is how you build strong partnerships through value and education. So, continue to promote it. Make sure you bring your partners to it. Make sure you let them know how important it is going to be for them to have this information, and make sure they understand it's part of your value proposition. This is something that you're bringing to the partnership. This is something that we invested in to help them win, help them get better. So make sure we're promoting it. It's a big deal coming up here on the 23rd. Last thing is just winners win. Okay, guys. So, we say it all the time internally. It's a mindset. It is so easy to get complacent. And this is something I've talked about with our team. It's like, the standard is so low. Okay, like when I go out there and I talk to top originators from different companies, I'm waiting in these conversations for like the hook. Like, okay, here's why I'm at this company. They do this amazingly. It never comes. The standard is so low. People don't have tech. People don't have value propositions. People don't have coaching. People aren't innovating, okay? That's the market. That's the industry. Housing, real estate, like it's all smoke and mirrors. Nobody's doing anything exceptional. Our standard is we're going to focus on winning. We're not going to be complacent. Like right now, we have multiple projects that we believe are going to be game changers for the company. You know, whether it's technology project to help bring best-in-class task management to our loan originators specific to what we're doing every single day, gamifying our approach today. The way that I, approach my day, I look at it and say, like, I wish every loan officer had this experience, but I've conditioned myself to be this way, to have the time management, to do the social media posting, to create the content, to do my outreach. Like, it takes a lot of time to do that. What we're bringing that to is a technology experience for every one of our loan originators. So don't think CRM, think my experience. How do I manage my day? How do I manage my time? How do I customize everything based upon my situation? Then on the back end, we have technology coming in place to bring clear visibility and accountability to our processes, to our overall client experience, to make sure escalations don't need to happen because we're preventing them from happening. So a lot of different projects on the technology side. And then, of course, we have sales coaching with Level Up Coaching that's coming to market as well. So a lot of big things we're working on. It's a mindset, though, that like we got to get better, okay? These are things that take time, investment in meetings and scoping and researching, in building the technology and building the experiences. Like, takes time, takes investment, and it's hard. It's easy to not want to do those things when it's already working. Business is already going, it's already working, but we want to get better. Winners win because they're never settled. They're never satisfied. They're always striving to get better and be better. So that's the mindset. It's important. Doesn't matter what that negative voice says in your head. Doesn't matter when you get that little voice that says stay in bed or don't do the work or leave early. Like, do the work. Have the winner's mindset. Understand it's a you versus you game, and we've got your back. We've got that feeling. We've got that passion for winning, and we're going to do it together as a team. I'm going to hand it off to Matt Newman, and I'll be back shortly.
I'm Matt Newman, co-branch manager of the UMortgage Atlanta branch. Today, I wanted to talk to loan officers and go over the idea of delegation when it comes to building a long-term focused and scalable business. My previous employment was a broker owner. I was the sole person in my business that did everything from start to finish. So for 5 years, I had a very successful business, but it was definitely not one that was scalable. If I wasn't behind my desk pushing a loan across or moving it forward, nothing was happening in my business. So I really did not embrace delegation until I joined the UMortgage platform. Now I am able to delegate the day-to-day tasks and activities that push loans along, whether it's processing, closing, getting the loan set up, whatever it might be. The delegation is really critical in order to scale and spend the time in the activities that are going to multiply your business over time. And now that I'm at UMortgage, I've got all this extra time because I'm no longer doing every little piece of the transaction. So I'm spending that time going deeper into relationships and stepping out of the transaction. Now, I'm still very involved in my transactions as the loan officer. However, I'm not the one that's chasing down paperwork, getting mortgagee clauses updated, the really small tasks that can take up a lot of your time. So with that extra time, I'm going deeper with listing agents, past clients, current referral partners. I'm even reaching out to partners that perhaps I didn't pay enough attention to because I really lacked that delegation prior to joining UMortgage. The way I evaluate my day, the old way was really just kind of going by how I felt. Did I feel like I moved closer to closing? Did I get any loans clear to close? And I really didn't have any method to make sure I was spending time in the most productive activities. So now I'm using a tracking system where I'm basically assigning points to each activity, whether it's a phone call, a face-to-face meeting, writing a thank you card, reaching out to past clients, whatever it might be. Having some sort of a system is really, really important to make sure you are spending the time in the most productive way. So again, that's really how I'm evaluating my day, is looking back and saying, did I spend enough time reaching out to those relationships that are really going to drive the business to me? My call to action to anyone out there who is not evaluating what they're spending their time on is go ahead and start writing things down, start keeping track of how many people you're talking to, people that can send you business, and how much time you're spending in things that you should be delegating to others. So really the best thing you can do is start doing it now. And you might not be perfect out of the gate, but once you start doing this on a daily and weekly basis, you can make those small adjustments by delegating some of those activities that really are just wasting your time. And you can focus more on the relationship and less into the transaction.
Hey, this is Chad Curtin. I'm coming to you from the Cincinnati market. I am extremely excited today to talk to you all about our new Level Up coaching program. So I am extremely passionate about coaching. I have personally been coached for 10 consecutive years. Through that coaching program, that's where I've seen the most actual growth for my career and in my professional side of things and my personal side of things. So that's why I'm so passionate about coaching. And I think it's had a humongous effect on me because I go into it with being very coachable. And what I mean by that is being coachable is you are open to learning new tactics, open to seeing different ways of doing the business, regardless if you've been doing this for 30 years or for 30 days. Having the right mindset of being coachable is all about getting better every day. And that's obviously what our brand is. Speaking of brand, what this coaching program does for us nationally is huge. I've been a part of companies that have started a coaching program before, and I've seen them go from a really good company to a really great company. This is going to help with our brand, meaning that if we are all playing at an extremely high level, it's kind of similar when you call a listing agent when you're making an offer, and that listing agent maybe doesn't know you, but they know you're the UMortgage brand, and it's a positive experience. Same thing. We're going to be leveling up all of our loan officers to get to a better better quality of loan officer, and that's going to help everyone across the nation. For the individual loan officer, what is it going to do for you? It's really simple. It's going to you're going to get out of it exactly what you put into it. So if you go into it with the right mindset of, I want to get better, I'm going to use this program to learn what people across the country are doing that are different than my market and the tactics that they're using. How do I get my business just a little bit better this year and then continue to grow? It's all about tactics. It's all about absolutely getting better and learning from each other. And that's a culture and a brand that UMortgage is all about. So my call to action is for everybody to go on SharePoint, look for the coaching documents that we have, get familiar with those, and then also join the sales huddles daily and really engage in those and continue to just get better every day. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the weekly sales meeting. Tyler Hodgson here, EVP of Growth, and obviously located in Texas. So today I wanted to talk and share a little bit of my practices related to social media, branding, and marketing. So you're in for a treat, and I've got a couple good takeaways, some action items. So hopefully you can use some of my ideas and improve your social media strategies as well. So first and foremost, why do I post on social media? The number one reason I post on social media is to stay in front of my sphere of influence, stay in front of my network. It's my best and most scalable way of networking with people. I'm not that great at getting out and about in front of people. So being on social media allows me to stay in front of my referral partners, my friends and family, my past clients, anybody that I know. I can build a relationship with them on social media, and I can do it in a scalable way. So social media very much to me is like a CRM as well. But you've got to be really intentional about how you interact on social media. I interact, number one, by posting very frequently. You should be posting at least every day. I post multiple times per day, almost every single day. And you need to be intentional about interacting with your followers on social media. So you've got to engage on their content as well. You need to keep in mind time management skills. Don't get stuck just scrolling on social media for hours and hours a day. One way that I help combat the social media suck, as I call it, is I try to interact on social media on my desktop more so than my phone. It allows me to open up the pages that I want to interact with, do a couple comments, look through some content, and then close it out and move on. When you get on your phone, it's very easy to get stuck scrolling, watching, 15,000 TikTok videos and things like that. So make sure you're intentional and make sure you protect your time. You don't want to waste all your time just scrolling social media. Number two, my next tip is to make sure you keep your content personal and relatable. Like, people don't want to see just a walking billboard. They'd rather interact with a human being. They want to know your story. They want to know what you're doing. That's what people want to engage with. And that's how you build a relationship, by being yourself. So mix in a good mix of, mortgage and real estate content so people know what you do, but make sure it's personal and about you. Lastly, if you're really just stuck and you don't know what kind of content or what to write about, use the UMortgage platform as your tool to help you come up with content. So make sure you're looking at what other loan originators at UMortgage are posting. What is Tyler posting today? What am I talking about? And does that spur an idea for you to post something? You can also go to our UMortgage SharePoint site, look at our marketing toolbox and all of the marketing calendar and content ideas that they share there. Every single day we've got more content. Every single day we have something new to share or post about. And so use those as a guide. Sprinkle those in with your normal daily personal updates and life updates, and that's going to give you a good mix of content that's going to help you stay relevant in front of your network and ultimately help you build relationships with your sphere of influence. And at the end of the day, that's what social media is all about.
Hi everyone, I'm Corie Meredith, and I'm so excited to be back on another sales huddle. So today we're going to talk about marketing, but I'm here to shake things up a little bit. I don't want to talk about where you can find marketing assets or the library of assets that is available to you or the trainings that you can access to know how to use those. We've been there before. We've done all of that. Today, we're going to talk about how you're using those assets. Now, it's one thing to have a library of assets at your fingertips. Yes, trust me, that's extremely, extremely important and part of the process. But it's another thing if you're not using them. Or it's another thing if you don't know how to properly use them. So today we're going to play a little bit of a game. And I want you to, this is going to be an engagement game. So I want you to participate in the comments, and I want you to use the hand raise emoji if you do these things. So be honest with yourself, be honest with everybody here. And if you're not a UMortgage LO watching, feel free to participate along too and think of the things that you do on your day-to-day activity. So first off, I want you to drop a hand raise emoji comment if you post the social media content that's prepared in the monthly marketing calendar. Now, I hope that we have a lot of comments coming in because you guys are doing this. Yes, this is super impactful. This is part one. Now, I want you to drop another hand raise emoji comment in the comments if you talk to a new real estate agent or if you talk to a new partner. That can be anywhere. That can be at an open house. That can be at a coffee meetup. That can be at a networking event. That can be at your kid's preschool. That can be on the side of the street. It doesn't really matter. If you talk to that new partner, that new realtor partner, and you went back and you went on the marketing site and you said, okay, I'm now going to customize a realtor introduction presentation for them and I'm going to send that over to them. How many of you actually do that? Drop the hand raise emoji in the chat. I bet we're having less and less comments come in. It's all about utilizing the content at your fingertips. I have one more game for us to play. This one is reflective of the Weekend Warrior. So drop a hand raise emoji comment if you actually follow up with your real estate agent partners after marketing sends the bi-weekly Weekend Warrior campaign and say, hey, I actually customized this piece of content for you. Now, this can be a follow-up from that communication. So say we shared, last week we shared the 1% buy down flyer. Did you actually follow up with your real estate agent partners? Maybe it's even your top 2% of agent partners and say, hey, I went above and beyond and I actually customized this template for you. Now let's go out there and crush it this weekend. How many of you actually did that? See, it's half the battle of the content, but the other half the battle is how we're utilizing the content. We want to make sure that the content is part of the business practice. How are you actually making that +1? How are you actually going about from the attract phase to the engage phase and making that a retainable relationship? It's not about prospecting anymore. It's actually about retaining these relationships. When it comes to social media and being present online, yes, that's absolutely important. You want to stay top of mind. You want to be present. That's great for credibility building. It's great for relationship building. It's also great for staying top of mind. But there's actions that go on behind the scenes that really develop and strengthen those relationships at their core. That's going to help your business. That's going to be impactful to your business. So next time you go on the marketing site, I want you to think, how am I using this content? Sure, there's a ton of great content on there. I'll be the first to tell you that you have all of that at your fingertips and the training that's necessary in order to know how to use it. But if you don't know what you're using it for or the audience that it's intended for, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to sit back and think strategically. How is my content working for me? Are you telling a story online? Do you post the Monday market update? Do you say that I sent out this email to my agents? They now saw the Monday market update on my social media feed, and now I'm going to follow up with the agent who asked me about rates last week and give them an overview of what's happening this week. Or I'm going to touch base with a borrower who I know could likely benefit from this rate drop that happened, or whatever it may be. Think about the specific instances, those specific personal communications, those specific connections that you have with people that only you know about, and help the content help you. That's how you make marketing work, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you create that cycle and to solve that puzzle together, and we can have the content work in our favor. Think of it like a credit card. You use your credit card because that money is now working for you. You're going to spend the $5 on the coffee anyway, so why not get the cash back? It's the same thing with marketing and marketing assets. Think of it as a credit card. You want to use the content so that you get ROI on that content, but you have to think of how you're using it strategically, who you're sharing it with, why you're sharing it with them, and develop that partnership with them and make the content work for you. So next time you go on the marketing site, I want you to think, how is this content working for me, and how can I make it part of my business strategy?
Great message, Corie. Love the call to actions and the gamification of weekly sales meeting this week. So I got two things for everybody before we wrap up. First, we are going to be in Florida next week. We're very, very excited for this event, Elevate to Dominate in Palm Beach. Barry Habib will be joining us. And, to give everybody a little perspective that plans on attending is, I told Barry, we're not going to focus on market like we talked about earlier, like everybody else wants to talk about that. Mindset and how we dominate. Barry dominates in his field. He's an investor in a lot of businesses. Everybody knows who he is because he's out there dominating, okay? I dominate in what we do here. That's our mindset every single day. So I'm going to share our playbook for dominating. And again, it's stuff that you've all heard before, but it's getting into the tactical, getting into the how. You heard Corie talk about the how. The how is everything, okay? People want to talk about their why and all that nonsense, but it doesn't matter what your why is if you're not doing the stuff that you need to do to win. If it's how you do it every day, it's how you lead, it's how you win, it's how you make your calls, it's how you do your prospecting. That's the difference. So we're going to talk about all of that, and it's going to give all of our attendees a clear playbook on how they can take the takeaways from this event into their business, go out and win, go out and dominate. So bring your agents. We're going to have real estate agents there, loan officers there. It's going to be a great event. We're looking forward to seeing everybody then next week. So last thing here, I want to talk about something that, you just heard from Corie, shaking things up. My feeling is we run our organization like a professional sports team, okay? Nobody is here for forever, including myself. You got to earn it, okay? If you're not performing and if we're not winning the championship, okay, if we're not winning consistently, you don't get to stay on the bus, okay? There's no entitlement here. You got to perform. I have to perform for our team members and shareholders. Our team members and leaders need to perform for their areas of the business as well, and for our customers. So at the end of the day, it's like, hey, listen, it doesn't matter if we've worked together for 5 years or 20 years, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? Are you performing? It's not about lack of loyalty. It's not about cutthroatness. It's understanding complacency kills businesses, okay? If you want to be sustainable, you got to be great. And if you want to be great, you got to innovate. You got to stay on top of your game. You got to wake up with passion. You got to come to work, and everything needs to be a +1, okay? So that's the mindset. And when it's not there, you got to break glass. Okay. That's when it's like, you got to rip things apart. Okay. And that's what I've done here over the last several months. It's like, hey, this area of the business isn't working. Great. Leaders got to go. We're going to start over. I'm okay with that. What do you think they do in sports franchises? Like, listen, head coach and general manager, they're losing, they're out of here. We're going to start over. That's the way it works. Okay. We're going to bring in new people. We're going to try to invest in different people. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that investment is all about the day-to-day. It's all about the coaching. If I wasn't sitting there investing time in people and our leaders weren't investing time in people, then it would be our problem. We're the ones that got to go. But when we do the work, when we lead, when we coach, when we provide the vision, when we share the how, and there is an execution, that's a them problem, okay? So for us as a team, we got to think about these things. Nobody's coming to save us. We talked about it earlier. What in your day-to-day do you have to break glass to change your behavior, okay? That's something that is like, hey, I want to do this, but I'm not doing what? Whatever that is, you have to make severe changes. It can't be, oh, I'm going to do a little bit of a change here and there. Hey, you know, I want to lose 50 pounds, but I'm going to do that by, you know, walking around the block. Like, that's not going to get you there, okay? You got to break glass. You got to take big action in order to see the results that you want. So next couple months, I'm very excited because we've taken that action, we've made those adjustments, and we've got the right people in the right seats to help lead the organization, get better every day. You just saw one of them, and we're going to continue to focus on delivering that value, holding everybody accountable to our standard of greatness and improvement and getting better, and continue to win every single day. So have a great rest of the week and talk to you soon.